Okay, so I was playing a video game. I know it sounds weird because it's not an anime, but I was playing a video game because they announced an anime. Have you heard of Dragon's Dogma?
I have heard of that, yes.
Yes, from the director of the Devil May Cry series. Itsuno himself. He made a weird fantasy game, and I heard they were making an anime of it, so I thought, you know what? Dragon's Dogma's been on my list of stuff to play for a while. Maybe I'll check it out. I didn't really enjoy it that much, especially like not as much as Devil May Cry.
Hmm.
It's got a lot of problems. Yeah, so it
But
was
is it
like,
as bad as DMC2?
uh, no, it's like nothing's that bad. Christ.
DMC2?
Oh man, yeah, that one's a train fire. I think that's even a level in the game, like a train fire. Yeah, no, it was around
I
like
don't remember, I never
August.
beat it.
Yeah, I beat the whole thing in two
Oh,
sittings. It was a nightmare.
it wasn't worth it, was it?
No, not at all. Yeah, don't. It's not even like in a oh haha this game's so bad kind of thing. No, it's just a slog. It's just. But yeah, DMC had an anime, and that one was actually good. It was fine.
Yes.
Um, but yeah, Dragon's Dogma, the anime, dropped on Netflix like a couple weeks ago. I think it was September 17th, and so yeah, around the beginning of August, I'm like, I'm gonna go hard into Dragon's Dogma just to know what it's all about for this anime, and I didn't like it that much. And then I watched the anime, and I didn't like that much either, to be honest. It's a really weird adaptation of a video game because they had a story in the game. It's really not much
hmm
until you get to the very end of it, and then the the anime adaptation kind of throws that out the window and makes its own story. Like it takes kind of the same little pieces and it makes up characters that are similar but not exactly the same as the characters in the game. I don't know why they did this.
So
But
instead of being extra side story like the DMC anime is, they just made up their own shit.
yes, yeah,
Okay.
it's like a retelling if someone hadn't actually played the game or something and made up their
They
own story
they
and they
went on the wiki.
or yeah, but no, they went on a paraphrase of the wiki that someone else told them at a bar while drunk.
Mm.
It's weird. It starts being about like the cycle of revenge and the seven deadly sins, which weren't really themes in the original. Not that the original had
That's
a great
also a
story
completely
either, but
different anime.
yeah, it's 3D. And one thing I could say about it is the 3D animation's actually pretty good. Like, not quite up on Beastar's level, but it's not terrible. It's not like Berserk or some shit. It's pretty nice looking.
I've seen gifs of the Berserk anime in
Oh
3D.
yeah, I watched
I
that.
don't
That
know
was
if I want to watch it.
that'll come up later.
Oh boy.
But yeah,
I know
no,
the
it's
opening song also has, like, does not match the tone in the slightest of the original Berserk anime.
oh yeah, yeah. That opening is weird. So yeah, Dragon's Dogma would not recommend the game or the anime. I want to see. I want a second. I want a sequel to the game that fixes all its laundry list of problems. But yeah, I hope I'm not making anyone too mad by saying Dragon's Dogma isn't good. But yeah, there's a music bug on the Switch where like when you finish a battle, the
Uh-huh.
the music doesn't stop.
Oh,
Even if you're talking to people in a cutscene, it doesn't stop.
good job.
I hate it. That's a very console specific problem, but the game itself has lots of problems. But I wanted to bring it up because today we're talking about bad anime. The worst
And
anime
yeah.
that we've ever seen. Dragon's Dogma is not even close to the stuff I've watched, but It's not great.
So which,
Can we talk about Berserk, I guess?
which I haven't actually seen, but yeah, I was just
Have you
I've
read
seen
Berserk?
clips of that animation.
Have you like read the manga at all, or
Nope.
like
I know it seems like something I would like, but I haven't touched it yet.
it's good. The manga. I mean, like it's
Yeah.
what?
In my defense, my watch and read list are very long.
Yeah, no. There's a ton of stuff out there. So Berserk, I like speed read through a lot of it, but like a lot of it stuck with me. It's very very good.
I
I
know a
did
lot
it
of
in like
memes about
48
it.
hours, the entire series.
Like there is a meme about a boat and a really long hiatus.
Yeah, really, really notorious hiatuses like Hunter x Hunter, sorry, Hunter x Hunter hiatus levels of just is the author even into this anymore? We don't know.
We just don't know.
You've probably seen that everyone hates Bishi white-haired boy Griffith for
Hmm.
reasons. For
And I know the reasons.
oh, okay, well there's enough. Yeah, yeah. It's a classic though. And then they said that they're gonna make an anime in the 90s, and that was a thing. It aged terribly. So then they said, we're going to make another anime in 3D, and they did, and it was like a series of movies that cut out a bunch of stuff, and people were upset. And then they said they were going to make another anime coming out in 2017. 2017, in the modern era. Berserk will look so great. It'll look
That feels
worse than
so
ever.
long ago now.
Yeah, it feels like 10 years ago, but it was recent. It's ugly. Like, okay, I get the idea of we have to use CG because Berserk has such detailed characters, and it's hard to like hand draw that and
Hmm.
not have the budget go up like by quintuple it originally was. But holy shit, I don't know how they got the studio or how the studio got the license to even be allowed to make something like this, but it is horrible. Yeah, I have like a bunch of the gifs and webms of just the awful animation.
I know the one I've seen the
Oh,
most is just Guts walking,
yeah,
and then
that's the
they
really
like
famous one.
edited little tiny legs on him.
I like that edit. Yeah, I mean the memes that have come out of it are wonderful. It's just it's the worst way to go through that story. It's really too bad. Yeah, because it jumps into the middle, right? Because in anime terms, the Golden Age arc had already been adapted twice. That's like the start. It's most of
Hmm.
Guts' backstory and the whole deal with Griffith. So the anime, there's an arc after that one, a really short one about him fighting a fairy lady that's evil and stabs people in the mouth. I think eats
Cool.
kids. So
Not
that
cool.
happens. So they skip that one because of the child murder, I guess, and then they jump straight into the Tower Conviction arc, which is where this 2017 anime starts, and it's a good arc. And like, I remember watching it and being like, oh, I remember these parts. Oh, they were so cool on paper, and not this horrible
I have
hellscape.
also seen like little bits of the manga, and it's very beautifully drawn.
Oh yeah, yeah. Kentaro Miura, he is a master of the pen and quill or whatever he uses. Although,
Probably Dip Pin.
yeah, he's recently switched to digital. I know that, and it's weird. Some people think like the quality of the manga has kind of dropped a little. And I might agree. I don't know. He still does some really beautiful pages. The characters look weird now. That's a whole other thing. But yeah, that's a
Mm.
shame. Berserk is a shame. It's just a really, really bad adaptation of what. Like, I think that's what hurts it. Is like
Hmm.
it's great, and you know that there's so much potential, and like this might be the only shot we have, and they fucked it. Can
So
you?
if we're talking about bad
Yeah,
adaptations,
yeah. Can you think of any like that? Please.
yeah, so when I was in high school, I got introduced to this series called Carnival with a K.
Oh, yeah. You told me about
And
this. I
it's
haven't watched
about,
this.
yeah, okay. There are redeeming parts of it. It's very pretty to look at. They did a lot
Hmm.
of stuff, really cool stuff with the colors and all that. Um, the opening and ending song are both pretty nice.
What was it originally
But
before the anime?
a manga,
Okay. Yep.
which
Oh, sorry.
yeah, it
Sorry. Go ahead.
the art style they match pretty closely. So it's not like they just completely butchered it.
Mm-hmm.
But where it goes wrong is
Yeah.
it
What's wrong with it?
moves it loses some of the tone of the anime. Like the manga itself feels more serious than the anime did. But also there's the dub.
Oh, you watched it
The
dubbed?
dub is garbage.
Just like
And I'm
your generic Funimation dub, or
yeah, it is a Funimation dub, I'm pretty sure.
hmm,
But it's also one of those things where they can't decide if they want to use the Japanese pronunciation or not.
why did? Sorry, why did you watch it dubbed? Because I just went to the page and I'm looking down the list of voice actors, and you have
I didn't
all the
actually
heavy
watch it
hitters.
dubbed. The
Okay.
person who introduced it to me showed me clips of the dub.
You got Hiroshi Kamiya, you got Mamoru Miyano, you got Hiro Shimono, you got Daisuke Ono, you got Kitamura Eri, you got Yuichi Nakamura. Like, you have everybody.
Yeah. The person who introduced me to the manga showed me clips of the dub and was like, "Don't watch this." And
Was
I
it
was like,
was it bad?
"Okay." Yeah, it's very bad.
Mm. So what about the show itself? Like, is production value bad, or you said they messed up the
Eh,
tone?
yeah, the tone, it feels, like I said, it feels not as serious as the original. Um,
Oh, it's still
and
by
some of the color
Manglobe.
choices, it's by what?
The studio Manglobe, they died. They're no longer
Oh,
making anime, I think.
hmm.
Wonder why.
No, yeah, it just feels really off.
That's that's unfortunate. Yeah, like tone's a hard thing to carry over. Oh, Berserk was 2016. Fuck me. um, oh, but yeah, like just I mean, even in Berserk's case, it's like I don't know the look and feel of like the manga to an anime, like getting those I don't know black and white, like the contrast and turning that into color is one thing, but then like
Hmm.
you have to have like good directing, you have to have good voice acting, which I'm sure it did given the cast, but like you have to make it so it actually fits together properly. I don't know. Adapting's a hard thing to do, but it's also kind of easy when the script's laid out for you
Yeah.
compared to making an original series. Uh, what was I gonna? Oh yeah, the Junji Ito collection. There's a
I've
prime
heard
example of
some.
that.
I've seen Super Eye Patch Wolf's video on it.
Yeah, that's a great video. Yeah, I sat through that entire piece of shit. It's too bad because like I haven't read a ton of Junji Ito, and I think that's horrible because some of my first exposure to some of his stories were through the anime version, which is
Ugh.
they picked some really weird stories to adapt to. Some of them weren't even scary at all. Or then, you got the ones that are supposed to be scary and just are not because it looks horrible and it's almost like a
Yeah, I
slideshow.
think I think the worst example I've seen was the adaptation of the lady in the window next door to the kid, and like
Yeah.
how she looks in the anime is just so lame.
Everything's lame. Every like big Junji Ito TM reveal shot is like the limpest thing you've ever seen. It's just like, oh, some guy spent 20 minutes drawing this and that was it.
Just
Oop, oop, oop. There, we did it. Okay. Some guy got paid like 6 cents to draw each little frame, and then he had to go home, eat butter or something. I don't know.
mayonnaise and bread crust.
Yeah. What's that from? I've seen that in like a bunch of anime.
Agretsuko
Right,
is where I was
right.
thinking of it.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Because she spent all her money giving a wedding gift and then the people divorced.
Oh, that's the saddest thing. That's what watching this anime feels like. It feels like eating mayonnaise and bread crust. I don't even like mayonnaise.
So even beyond adaptations, what about bad anime that you didn't read or read the original of, but you just didn't like? I
Yeah.
know there's one you told me about.
Wait, which one? I got a big list. Stuff that
Well,
I
the one
never.
I was immediately thinking of was number 6.
Oh yeah. Okay. Yeah, we're gonna talk about that. I feel bad though because you said you enjoyed that one, and
I enjoyed it in
I
high
didn't.
school. My tastes have changed.
For me, I was just going into college, and number six came out, and this was at the cusp of me getting into weekly anime and
hmm
not really knowing how to pick them. I guess because I looked at the name of the
See, I watched
studio.
it.
I looked at the
Uh-huh.
name. It said Bones, and I'm like, oh, they did Full Metal Alchemist and Soul Eater and a bunch of good anime. I know them. They did Wolf's Rain. They must always do good anime. This is how dumb I was, right? First of all, it's a boys love anime, which I didn't know
Yeah,
going
which
in.
isn't the greatest genre sometimes.
I was
I
completely
know.
blind, and I was like, "Oh, these two guys seem kind of close. Oh, wait, this is kind of gay." It's been
But
like
yeah,
9 years.
I've seen a few. I've seen a few boys love anime.
Mm-hmm.
Some of them are not good.
Yeah. I mean, this one, I think it had good production values in terms of animation and stuff. It's just the story that I really wasn't connecting with. Like, there's all the drama between him and the guy, and there's all these heavy overtones of like, oh, the government's so evil, and they're picking on all the poor people, and we have to live in these shacks, and we have to stand up against them, but they're so powerful and all knowing. It's like your young adult novel fantasy thing, like your Hunger Games or whatever.
hmm
I don't
I
remember a
think they
lot of
went.
details though.
I think they went. These boys got a kiss first, and then they put the story in.
You might be right. You might be totally right.
But
Oh, sorry,
I
go.
also know
Yeah.
there's a light novel that apparently has pretty much the same ending. But I wonder if the build-up is different.
I hope it would be different, and I hope it would make more sense. The one detail I remember of this series is the worst Deus Ex Machina I've ever seen in my life. Final episode, they're fighting the big government. Your main boy, soft boy, gets shot and is dying and bleeding out. Oh no, he's not gonna make it. Nezumi, rat. That's the other boy's name. The really tsundere rat boy. He's like, no,
Yeah,
soft boy, don't die in my arms. Oh,
I
he's
don't even
dead.
remember the other dude's name.
I forget the main character's name, but I remember the other guy's Nezumi for some reason.
Yeah.
So
Was it
he
for some
dies.
reason I want to say it was Shino or something?
Maybe Shiro. His hair's white, so
Shiro?
maybe.
Oh, hold on, let me Google it.
Okay, I'll explain this bullshit. So he dies, and it's like, oh no, he's dead. How sad. If only there's some way we could save him. And then bee, a giant rainbow colored bee, just materializes and brings him back to life.
It's Shion.
Shion, thank you. That doesn't matter though because he got brought back by a bee. He's bee boy now. He's
B.
they had like some info about bees before that, like I don't know if it properly foreshadowed this though because my jaw dropped. I'm like, what the fuck am I watching? I think the bee talked even, and then it just like went away, and it's like he's alive again. Bye. Just floats away. And
Yeah,
this
I
thing's
watched it
big. It's
in
like
high
the size of
school.
a house. It's a big bee.
Yeah, I watched it in high school over like 3 days because my partner at the time was like, "Hey, watch it. It's good." And I was just like, "Okay." And then because I was like, I think this was my sophomore year, So it sort of made me like 15
Mm-hmm.
or something. I ended up crying at it, and then my partner made fun of me, and I was just like, eh.
Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, this was
So that's my other connection to it.
for me. It was week to week, 12 weeks of hate watching this fucking trash. That's the thing with me. If I start like officially watching a series, I don't drop it. Like unless something happens that's like horrible or something. I usually it takes a lot for me to drop a show. Like I watched all Berserk, I watched all Junji Ito, even if I knew I wasn't enjoying them, like just to see it through.
You watched Uzaki-chan?
Oh yeah, yeah. Hey, Uzaki-chan, that's a recent one. That show's such trash. God damn. Can I go off? I'm gonna go off.
Go off. Go off, man.
Uzaki-chan, oh wow, oh it's such a big controversy about her boobs, or they're so big and people are mad about it. What children? Okay, yeah, no, I don't care about her design. Her design's actually pretty good. Everything else about the show is terrible. It it baffles the mind how like someone saw the source material and said, yeah, I can make like a 24 minute episode series about this. Yeah, and it's season 2, I guess, which got announced. Sure. It's just they had one idea, which is she kind of teases the guy, but it's because she actually cares about them, and they have a romantic tension, and that's the entire show. Like what I just said right now, that's it, and then they repeat it over and over and over and over and over again, and sometimes joke about her boobs being big or something. And I don't know who this author is, but I don't fucking like them. Because you have these two characters and they're one dynamic, and the main character is like a loaf of bread, completely nothing, piece of shit, whatever. And it's not even like he's your normal everyman harem MC guy or whatever. But he's just
you can't even self-insert with him. He's just
nah.
sucks.
He's just made to self-insert, and he sucks, and he's annoying, and like the way he bounces off her is like it's annoying, and also the entire impetus of her wanting to hang out with him because she pities him is kind of weird, in a way. But I mean, she still is in love with him, so fine, whatever. No, it's the supporting cast, which is the worst I've ever seen in anything. Because all they do is they watch the main characters bicker at each other, and they go, oh my god, they're so entertaining. I just want to watch this forever, viewer. Don't you want to watch this with us? They went out on a holiday somewhere? I gotta drive there in my car so I can see them and their wacky antics of the same thing over and over again. Isn't this really great? And I'm like, no! I've watched millions of better rom-coms that are better than this. Maybe millions is too big of a number, but I'm so mad I couldn't think of a number in time. Oh, what a piece of shit. Yeah, I'm not watching season 2. I know what it is, and it's just going to be the same shit over and over again. Oh, God. And it's one of those things, it's going to be like, you're going to see her face and her character floating around on social media for a bit, and it's going to be forgotten. Because there's no substance there.
Yeah, I think I drew her once to get on the funny bandwagon, and then I just dropped it.
Yeah, I mean, that stuff was fun. That stuff was more entertaining following just the social media conflicts of like, her design's too bad. Oh, her design's fine. Let's draw big boobs in this outfit because it's funny. Like, that was more entertaining than watching the damn thing.
Sugoi Dekai.
I think most of the people who have, like, heard of this and, like, were following that whole, the Twitter nonsense haven't actually watched the show. Or maybe watched an episode or two and then dropped it because there's nothing there. Yeah, Sugoi Dekai. Yeah, I'm gonna take a drink of water. Oh. I know some people want to hear me go off on that, and goddamn, thank you for bringing it up, because, it's the most bland thing I've seen in a while. Okay, I gotta talk about something else. So
okay,
just get
if we're talking about bland stuff,
yeah, give me a blandest.
I do drop anime pretty easily. Like if I'm like, I don't enjoy this, I just quit.
See,
That
Max,
happened
you're
to me.
smart. You're actually
That happened to me
smart.
with that happened to me with Devil as a part timer because I didn't enjoy it.
Oh,
But if we
fuck.
went
Go on,
if we
yeah.
went bland, then I gotta say Uta no Prince Sama is extremely boring.
Yeah. Did you finish it or did you drop it?
I dropped it. I enjoy the one insert song that it's famous for, which is Maji Love 1000%. That's an entertaining song.
Mm-hmm.
It's fun to dance to on the games that show up at conventions. But the anime itself is just a bunch of nothing.
Uh,
It's a reverse harem musical,
mm-hmm.
which I've seen a better one of, which is Dance with Devils, but again, that was made to like promote a PS Vita game.
Which one was the one you sent me?
Real.
Was it the Devil's one or is it this one?
That was Dance with Devils
Okay. Maybe I need to look this
with
up.
the dog singing,
No. Prince.
where I was like, okay, I need context, and then watched all 12 episodes. Because at least it was entertaining. But Utano Prince Sama, I watched like 2 episodes, and it's like, I can't do this.
That bad, huh? Just
What I remember, the main girl who, like, is the protagonist and is gonna kiss the boys or whatever, and, she's like their manager, and it's one of those, artsy dance theater schools.
oh fuck me. This main girl you're talking about, she's got my favorite voice actress. And the
Oh
rest of the
no.
cast is amazing too. All those guys I mentioned before, they're all in this.
Yeah, it
Norio
sounded
Wakamoto! What?
fine, but it's so boring.
God damn. Where do they get the money and then just churn out just nothing, just slop?
I don't know. I think it was also a gotcha game or something. Or it has a gotcha game.
I think no wait, it says
Because
visual
of course
novel.
it does.
Yeah, you know what? It probably has both.
Yeah, because I know like Bang Dream and uh, fucking what's
Yeah, that
Love
one's a
Live,
gotcha.
they all got gotchas.
Yeah,
So that kind of thing.
everything has a gotcha now. I wouldn't be surprised if like your monthly seasonal run-of-the-mill crap like Uzaki has like, oh, it's a gotcha with her different outfits or some. Put in your credit
Where's my
card.
Beastars gotcha?
Hey, yeah, you know what? Put that. Hey, you got the 3D models. Use them.
Yeah.
There you go.
What kind of gameplay would it be?
You raise stats and fight enemies in a turn-based battle system. There you go.
Like Raid, Shadow Legends.
Oh, Christ. This podcast is not sponsored by Raid or anyone.
Yeah, we're not sponsored, but you know the jokes.
Or Raid the bug repellent either.
Yeah, that would be weird.
You mentioned...
There's a food YouTuber I watch who got sponsored by Geico.
Sure, eat the lizard. Eat that little lizard man. Put him on a stick. You mentioned, what was it, Mao Hadaraki? No, what was it? Devil's a part-timer.
Yeah, didn't enjoy it.
You know what? I watched that back in the day. I was okay with it, but it got such a big following, and, like, it is really bland.
I was like,
not
ooh,
much
reverse
going on.
isekai, and also there's demons. That sounds right up my alley. It wasn't. I got bored.
It's, the first episode is, the whole meat of the show. Because the devil from your fantasy world, which is always Dragon Quest, by the way, it's always
Yeah.
the demon lord. He loses, and then he transports to another world to survive, and it turns out to be our world, and he works at McDonald's, and then you get the jokes that come with that.
And that's it.
For the manga equivalent, if there was a manga, like it would be like the total of like 10 pages of jokes, and then okay, now we gotta write like a whole series. How are we gonna do?
I mean, it could probably work as like a 4 coma
Yeah, sure.
with little mini jokes. That can make sense. Like you could just do jokes about the hells of food service.
Yeah, but fuck, then he's gotta meet characters, and then the holy knight that banished him, she came to the real world, and now she's a tsundere for him, and now he has a love triangle with a human girl because we can't think of anything other than generic rom-com shit. It's not a horrible show, but it's not like
It's not very good
yeah,
either.
that one's just middle of the road. That's not like worst ever that I've seen. Do you want me to tell you about the worst anime I've actually ever seen?
Yes.
Like out of the I don't know fucking list of 1,000 whatever series that I've watched, Ishido to Asakura. I don't know why I watched this. It's it's about a high schooler guy with a big puffy afro. He's white, but I mean he's Japanese, but he's not
Okay.
black. He's got an afro for some reason. It's like little 3 minute or something episodes of him with his finger up his nose, being like, "I want to touch girls' boobs," and it's
All
just
right.
dirty jokes that aren't funny, animation that's not good. I don't know why I watched it. I don't know why I decided to watch it. And I saw the whole thing and really regret spending my time on that. And they recently announced that it's going to get localized and dubbed. Like fucking 8 years later or some shit. And I'm like, why? Why would you do this? Who would
They dub all this
purchase?
random stuff, but they can't give us a Kuroko Basket dub.
No. No, you don't get that.
Please?
I don't need a dub. I would like to own a thing physically, so just bring it over with the subtitles.
Well, yeah, I just want more people to be into it, because then that'll give me more of an excuse to go back and finish it.
Go back to the
Because I keep
basketball.
meaning to, but then I forget where I'm at.
Just start the entire thing over again.
It's so many episodes.
Yeah, I don't honestly know what to say about Ishida to Asakura. It's just picture the worst anime you could fucking imagine. Picture an anime in the background of an anime, like on their TV, and that's kind of what it is. I had another really horrible one I wanted to bring up, which like it's funny the idea of it, but it's like do not watch it. Aoi Sekai no Chushinde is an anime. It's like
Okay.
it's not even like a thing that was on TV. I don't think it was like a bunch of OVAs, and
Excuse me.
it's a fantasy series about the kingdoms of Segua and Ninteldo in a
Aha.
bitter war to control the land of Consum.
Okay.
And every character is representative of a classic Sega or Nintendo game, except
I
it's
think
like
I've seen.
feudal Japan.
I think I've seen clips of the. No, maybe I haven't. I know I've seen a clip where it was like Sonic, but a dude.
Yes, yeah, the main character, he's got big spiky blue hair, and he's Sega's shining hero. He's got to fight off those evil, I don't know, surly red and green guys. It's been a while since I watched it. It's like the worst animation quality you can think of, and there's nothing in the story really. They don't even do anything creative with that premise. Is it like
Another thing.
sorry,
go ahead.
if it wasn't Nintendo and Sega, like it would just be generic fantasy because nothing they do actually is reminiscent that much of the games themselves. It's really sad. Plus the main characters are all Sega, and besides Sonic, I wasn't a Sega kid. I never grew up with a Sega console, so I don't know any of them. I don't know Fantasy Zone, and I don't want to know Fantasy Zone. That one sucks. Sorry, go on.
Yeah, I was gonna say there's another anime that same person who showed me the Sonic
Mm-hmm.
quotation marks one was, and it was like it was another like boys idol group anime, but the idols were statues of Renaissance artists.
Was that creative? Was it funny at least, or?
I only saw a few sections and then I could never remember the name of it. I just remember it existed and it felt like it didn't.
It's a fever dream that you had one day.
In class, yeah, I guess.
Your friend just turns around, they have it on their phone, they're like, Max, look at this. They show it to you, you look at the screen, you just pass out in your chair for 3 hours. Wake
Yeah,
up,
pretty
huh?
much.
What was that? What happened?
And we were in business class.
Guess you could say you had no business watching that anime. I'll see myself
Uh-huh.
out. Ho ho. Yes. Yeah, oh man. They're
All right, so
yeah, go ahead.
okay, on just topic of stuff like Uzaki-chan, that reminds me, we're also getting the Nagatoro anime.
Oh
Do you
man.
think that will be any better, or will it be about the
Yes.
same?
Because I read the source material and like there's actually some progress in that. Like
There's an actual plot.
as much progress you would see from like a normal rom com, but like it's enough to keep you going through it, and the scenarios aren't like horrible and like the same thing you've seen over and over, and also the supporting cast is actually kind of interesting, and they bounce off the characters in different ways other than clapping their hands and going, "Oh, they're so lovely." So no, I think Nagatoro has a good chance. I mean, I don't know about the animation quality. The manga isn't actually like super well drawn, but like it's good enough and the designs are strong, so
Yeah, and I
that
like
one will be alright.
Nagatoro's smug faces.
Yeah, she's great. I hope they get a good voice actor for her and the main guy and well all the characters, but I think that one will be better. It won't get as popular as Usaki-chan did because she doesn't have massive stonking titties, so but it'll get a big boost in popularity. We'll see her a lot more later.
Now, where's Komi-san?
I was just about to say that. Like the words were coming out of my mouth. I'm like, what was it called? Komi, and Max was already saying it.
Where is her anime? It's what she deserves.
Well, I'm waiting for Kyoto Animation to do it because God, wouldn't that be amazing? Holy shit! Like, look at what they did to Main Dragon, right? Like,
Hmm.
I wanna see them kind of. They're good at adapting comedy stuff, not just like teen dramas and romance things. Like they can do it. I would love to see that, or just a good studio because Komi-san's great. That's a great manga. Still going strong. Oh, you know what? It's another manga that's still going.
Hmm.
One Punch Man, which is fine.
Yeah, I watched season one of that.
You know what's not fine? It's season 2,
What? Yeah,
which is not
I've
done by
heard.
Madhouse. I watched the whole damn thing. Oh god, what a production nightmare that was. It's just so ugly. Also, it's not even that great of an arc to adapt. Like, it's this kind of manga original arc that wasn't in the original series, so it's not exactly. It's not the same level of writing you would see in the first season. That should have been all we got. That should have been like, oh, One Punch Man was really good, and then the manga continued and they never made an anime again. Wouldn't that have been a nice alternate reality?
Yeah, I feel like that would have been just fine because season one it ended fine.
Hmm.
Uh, there was a couple OVAs that were cute,
Oh yeah, yeah there were.
which why was one of them Sonic getting a pet and then Saitama trying to eat it? How dare you leave him alone? You
Yeah,
already
that's
punched him
funny,
in the nuts.
and it was beautifully animated. Now, the thing about season 2 is like, cause you know how like fluid and detailed the original was, where this one they add a bunch of like little splotchy shading to make up for actually having to do real shading on the characters, and it's all like
Hmm.
gradiented and ugly. They keep like what is it called? Like they're like interlacing frames over each other, so it looks like they're moving more than they actually are. Like when you see like okay, a character is in one position, then they're in another position, but the in between like it's not drawn, it's just like a ghost between the two of them. of where they're going and where they came from. So it's like we didn't actually draw more of this, but we pretended we did. Just a lot of that, a lot of really bad off-model looking characters, a lot of fight scenes that like look better in the manga, and those are still fucking images.
You couldn't even tween it.
Oh god, yeah, it's as close to going into the nightmare of tweening that they could have got. Oh man. Yeah, that was bad. Oh yeah, and horrible CGI too as well, because they just didn't feel like drawing some of the monsters. Like
Oof.
you can do good CGI in anime. There's some that do it really well.
Yeah.
There's one I really like
Again,
from like
B-stars.
yeah Beastars. There's one that I really like called Gargantia, and that was like I don't know 12 years old or something now. But like the robot is CGI. Like a lot of mecha do CGI, but they do it like well, and it interacts with the characters well, you know. But then you got the bad CGI where they just slapped it in there, and that's kind of what One Punch Man was. Oh man, have you seen? Let's see what else I got on my list of horrible crap. Have you seen Hellsing?
I've heard of it, and I've seen a little bit of the original.
Yeah, that's the one I'm talking about because that one's so bad that they had to remake it. Yeah, because Hellsing Ultimate, that's the one that you want to watch. And hey, it's done by Madhouse, and it's an OVA, and it's got lots of money and pretty visuals. But yeah, I think the first series was 2001. I think it was like 12 episodes, and rushed and sloppy, and one of those made-up endings too, where nothing matters. And they make up a superpower for him to get at the end because they don't know where the manga's going, right?
Just wait for the manga to be over.
I think he fights a werewolf at the end.
Or at least, like, let it get super far ahead.
Mm-hmm. I'm actually happy that a lot of anime now they don't make up endings. They just stop and then wait maybe a couple years.
Yeah, they do an arc and stop.
Yeah, holy crap! It's so much better in this world where we're not just having all these adaptations with made up endings. I remember Blue Exorcist just had a horrible made up ending, but then it came back for another season and pretended that never happened.
Retcon it.
Yeah, it's just here we are, season 2. What do you mean that stuff happened? What are you talking about? No, we're
don't look at it.
From something else.
Stop looking at it.
Yeah. Oh, you know I said I never dropped the show? I did drop something, kind of. You heard of My Little Sister Can't Be This Cute?
Yes.
Fuck that show, oh my god. Like, that one already sucks. The way it was sold to me is, oh, it's like one of those incest comedies. But it's not incest, though. The brother's just helping out his sister. And that's how it was for season 1. Like, it's framed as, oh, they're gonna end up together, but then you watch it and it's like, oh, well, he's just actually teaching her how to socialize and make friends and stuff. And he's trying to be a good brother and stuff. Even if she's
and then it gets weird.
Piece of shit. Yeah, and then season 2 starts dating one of the girls, like, and then I think he dumps her for. No, wait, that doesn't happen until later, right? So yeah, season 2 happens, and then but the thing is, it starts leaning into the incest, and I'm like, hold on a second, this is not what I thought this show was, and then. It ends in a bunch of OVAs where he decides, no, I'm not going to date a girl, I'm going to date my sister. She's the one for me. And I said,
why?
I saw that come out, and I said, I'm not going to watch that. I'm going to pretend it ended before that happened. I'm going to put my fingers in my ears and go, la, 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 la.
No!
They didn't get married and kiss at the altar and probably have incest sex and babies. Man, they had a really hard-ass father. I wonder what he thought of that shit. Yeah, that I don't know. It sucks when something that you think is going one way turns into another show altogether, but it also really sucks when it becomes just morally wrong and turns into incest. They're gonna have little babies with not all the genes that work, and they're gonna come out lumpy. You just know it. That's science, baby.
Baby.
They look at their lumpy child and they're like, "That's our science, baby." And the baby's like, Why have I been born? This is getting weird and dark, I'm sorry.
Why have you forsaken me, mother?
No. Do you have any more stuff that you want to talk about? I got some really awful ones. Anything?
I don't think so.
Okay, so aldnoah.zero is a piece of shit.
Alright.
aldnoah.zero, this goes in the same category that I was just talking about, where this has a good start, and then it turns into another show that's really bad. And it was, okay, for the premise, it's a mecha anime, really Gundam-ish, where you have the Earth colony fighting the space colony. But it was not written, but like series composition or penned or like produced. One of those vague, like, I wasn't really in charge of this, but I kinda was in charge of this by Genu Urobuchi. Fate Zero and Madoka and Psycho-Pass and all those good anime. And it starts out and it's like really kind of shocking and dark in his style, and it's like, oh man, yeah, this could be pretty good. I think he only did like the first 3 episodes though. It sucks because it sets up all these characters and all these plot points in this mecha war is hell series thing, and the ending of season 1 has a really shocking and brave cliffhanger. They spoilers for this. Spoilers to anyone who wants to watch aldnoah.zero, but they kill off the main character. They shoot the main love interest, and they also kill the anti-hero. He also kills the main villain. You had these 2 rival characters head to head the whole time, and one of the rivals is now the only one left standing, and it's like, oh shit, this could go in a variety of really interesting directions. Where like I was thinking in my head like, oh man, our main boy, our rival guy Slain, he's now the anti-hero. He's probably gonna take the place of who the villain was, and we might get a time skip where like he is becoming a lot more cold-hearted and is really dominating in this war, but he still has the conflicts because he loves the princess who's in love with the Earth. Blah 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 blah. Instead of doing anything cool,
that's not what happened.
Yeah, they just bring everyone back to life.
What?
The main character didn't die. he got shot in the face, but he didn't die. He just lost an eye. He has a cool eye patch now. The eye patch gives him magical AI robot powers that lets him Deus Ex Machina his way out of every fucking mecha fight. It's terrible. The main villain, I don't think he dies either. Yeah, he doesn't die either. And the princess doesn't die. Her body has been kept in a rejuvenation tube, so she's fine. She comes out fine later. No one died. At all. All the really shocking and brave shit that they did, it's just thrown out the window because we're going to keep repeating the same episodic robot battles and work up to a horrible conclusion. Our main hero, he's got the robot eye, right? He's got an eyeball in his brain. It's the only thing keeping him alive, like Iron Man or whatever. And it can really help him. He can pull off so many crazy calculations and tactical maneuvers in these robot fights. But if he keeps using it, the eyeball, it's affecting his brain. It might kill him. It doesn't. It doesn't. It only helps him. No, it comes up every episode that it might kill him, and then it never does. It never does anything bad. It only helps. By the end of it, he has like a cool eye patch because he lost his eye. They had to take it out, but he won, and everything's fine. Our only interesting character, the anti-hero guy, loses and is imprisoned, and it sucks because he could have gone off. And like, I'm not just sad that he lost, I'm just sad that he could have had a lot more interesting developments and shit. And then one of the main things of the show is there's a love triangle with our hero and our anti-hero, and then the princess, right?
Mm-hmm.
Where one of them grew up with her and he's been in love with her, and then one of them has met her and she's in love with him and he might be in love with her. He's kind of emotionless, really. And then at the end, you know how they resolve it? She picks a guy who shows up in the second to last episode, who just materializes out of thin air. She's gonna go with him now.
What?
Yeah. No one wins, everyone loses. And I feel like I lost for watching this piece of shit. It doesn't make any sense. Why would they do it like that? Not to mention all the nitty-gritty stuff with all the other characters that just was poorly written and didn't pay off and all that crap. Yeah, not a good recommend. It's like, I was really into that first season, and the second season just flipped the table. Everything gets thrown out. No one died. Dying's bad. We want people to buy our merch, I guess.
What even?
Have you ever seen something with like an ending that's made you really, really pissed off like that? Like, I don't know. I remember some people were mad about the original Fullmetal Alchemist ending. That was fucking weird. I mean, Ed, he ends up in Nazi Germany. That's not a great ending, is it?
No, it's not.
I was like super raging about that, but that was a thing that happened. People were upset. They remade it though, so it's fine. You even have people who are like, "Oh, I actually preferred the original because I'm a hipster or some shit." I don't know. Sorry, just taking a drink. I'm going off this episode, man.
I guess if I'm talking about I don't know about ending, but another thing that I watched that was kind of bad was, out of pure curiosity, I decided to look at the fucking Supernatural anime.
Oh, I'm actually
Because that
really
is a
curious about that. I never watched that.
I got through one episode and gave up.
Oh, really? Oh,
And I like Supernatural.
That's the thing.
It's really
like,
dumb.
I really liked Supernatural, specifically the first 5 seasons, but I'm like morbidly curious about that anime. Tell me what happened. Tell me every detail.
The last great season was season 3, in my opinion.
Oh, really? You didn't like 4 and 5? Those were like my favorites.
Not as much, but I missed the Monster of the Week formula.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that was good, but.
And also, like, looking back at older episodes, they're such baby.
They are. Yeah, this got made like I think it was past it was like season maybe 6 or something, and they only got one of the actual voices to voice them in the show.
Yeah,
and then the one that they did got was only there for
Jared,
half,
and then
the
Jensen
month.
only gets in the final episode.
Oh, they did get him in? Really?
In one episode.
Oh, that's why not the whole thing? Ah, fuck.
I think he was busy. Is literally what it was.
Oh, okay, guess, but like the whole point is the.
Okay, it was May. First episode came out in January 2011.
Yeah. So maybe that was.
I'm trying to find out what studio did this.
It was Madhouse. I know that.
Madhouse? Okay.
They were doing a bunch of weird Western adaptations around that time. That was when they were doing all the Marvel anime, like the X-Men and the Wolverine and the Iron Man one. I watched the Iron Man one. You would expect me to come on this podcast and be like, that's also one of the worst anime ever. And like, it's pretty bad, but it's actually kind of good in some ways. It's weird how the Iron Man, like, the idea of what kind of hero he is, it actually fits pretty well into, I don't know, Japanese, like, beliefs or whatever you would call it. Like, how in America you have people and their weapons, right?
Uh-huh.
Like, there's a man and there's a gun. But in Japan, they see like the weapon, if they have a sword, if I'm going to be really racist, I guess, they see that as an extension of themselves. And that's kind of more how Iron Man is. He feels like the suit is him. It's a part of him. So just seeing that take on it is like, oh yeah, you know what? That actually fits pretty well. And he creates the series. I'm gonna go off on Iron Man, I guess. He starts off saying he's gonna give up being Iron Man, though. He's gonna have a bunch of drones take over in the Iron Man suits for him, and then some stuff goes bad. I think some terrorists hack the suits and gain control. And then he gets attacked by a giant scorpion, and the scorpion goes, "I am the first of the Zodiacs! I will destroy you!" And then he has to fight those things. Yeah, it just comes out of fucking nowhere. And he has to fight all the Zodiac monsters. And a Wolverine shows up for a cameo.
Okay.
I didn't come away hating it, though. It's kind of cool. The sequel movie they had sucked, though. I can't get over the Zodiacs.
I've seen one clip of anime Deadpool where he's voiced by Koyasu.
Oh yeah, that's.
I don't actually know what it's from, but I like that clip.
I think that was they had like a, I don't know, it was like a really kid-oriented like Marvel I don't know, collect the heroes like their Pokemon or some shit, and they can summon them. I never watched it, but yeah, I think Deadpool was in that because I think that's what the clip is from.
Okay, I like
hearing
him
in Japanese. It's cool. Or like if you ever hear like the Japanese dubs of like the Avengers movies, they get some cool voice actors in there. They get Yuichi Nakamura as Captain America, and I'm like, oh, that's such a good fit. We're talking about really bad anime that are kind of funny. There's one that I watched called Nora, Princess and the Stray Cat. This is one that's like a couple minute episodes. It's a terrible anime. I'm pretty sure it's made in Flash because they actually do animation tweening and it looks terrible. And it's just I don't know, a bunch of pretty girls, and this guy gets turned into a cat, and you can look up at their panties, I guess, and their boobs bounce around. There's like no substance at all. But episode 6 might be the best anime episode I've ever seen in my fucking life. Because they didn't animate anything. They just cut to footage of live action goats on a farm, and then they voice dub them with the characters. What? And it's just them talking as goats for like 5 minutes, and then it ends.
What?
Yeah, it is this completely nothing anime, but that stunt is like one of my favorites. What a cool move. We couldn't afford to animate another episode. Cut to the stock footage of goats. That's Nora, Princess and the Stray Cat, episode 6, if anyone's curious of checking that out. Because, oh my god. You just see, like, these goats, they're, like, chewing on grass, and then you got these, like, anime girl voices coming out of them. Eh, nani desu ka? Blah, 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 blah. You know? And the goat's like... Have you been watching anything recently? Like, outside of terrible anime?
I don't know. The most recent thing I saw was I watched the first episode of Banana Fish, and that was about it.
Okay. I think you talked about that the other time.
I did.
Yeah. I've been watching a bunch. Like, there was the Dragon's Dogma thing. I got so hyped for that. I played the entire 40-hour game or whatever for that anime, and it was also disappointing. I'm still watching Tama no Susume? Yama no Susume. The Mountain Climbing Girls. That is... The second season
gets... talked about that one.
Yeah, the second season gets a longer runtime. They go from 3 minutes to 13 minutes, so it's like way meatier. It's really good. It's like, I think it's one of my favorite slice of life series. It's really, really good. I'm almost
Yeah,
done season 2, and then I got season 3. I was posting on the Discord some of the animations. Did you see those?
I did not.
They're so smooth. They animate so much. It's kind of ridiculous. It's like the
Yeah, I
girl does
haven't
like a
watched
head
much. I've
turn.
mostly just been looking for manga and then bookmarking it.
Have there any
So I've
been?
got a few different.
Have there
I've got
been
a
any
few
good
things
ones? I
like.
mean,
Yeah, I've got Visions of V bookmarked to read through.
oh yeah. How long is that?
Right now it's up to chapter 25,
Whoa, that's like
and
way
it's still
more.
going.
That's way more than I
Yeah,
thought it'd be. I thought it'd be like 6 chapters. There you go.
yeah. I've got all the Ginga Densetsu and Ginga Nagaraboshi manga bookmarked to read those. That's the ones about the dogs that fight bears.
Oh, cool. Little anime
Uh,
puppers.
Not a manga, but I got the original Sonic the Hedgehog Archie comic.
It's kind of Japanese-ish.
It,
I
kinda.
mean, the comic is American, but source material is some Japanese guys like, I'll make them
And then of
blue.
course, yeah, and then of course I gotta finish Banana Fish and Beastars, which is apparently ending soon.
Yeah, what the hell? By the way, there's 3 chapters left. What?
Huh?
Have any of those come out, or... Well, I guess you have to catch up, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
On where I'm reading it, it's currently up to chapter 194.
That's a pretty decent run. I don't know, maybe the author just decided that that's that.
Yeah.
Maybe. I don't know the whole situation. I just heard it was ending. I told you and you didn't believe me.
Yeah, 'cause like
Out of
it
nowhere.
just already?
It's like when Bleach ended and they said like, yeah, Bleach has 3 chapters left. But what about all these plot points? I don't know if Beastar's been wrapping those up though. Maybe it has.
It feels like it has. We had a lot of really solid build up with Lugosi's character.
Oh, good. Okay, well maybe it's at a state where it's like winding down.
Yeah. We got this one villain dude who I will not spoil because, I
He's
don't know
a
how many
duck.
anime only people we got.
I'm an anime only, so yeah.
Yeah, he's something.
Okay.
He will not show up until probably if we get a season 3 of the anime. I don't
Oh,
see
yeah,
him
it's
showing up at all in season 2.
a couple years off from now.
Yeah, season 2 will just be the investigation arc
Okay. I don't know what that means,
with
but we'll get there.
uh well, you remember the kid in the first season that they found dead?
Oh, they're finally getting like to who killed
Yeah,
him.
that'll be season 2.
I always assumed it was the tiger guy from how they framed it, but we'll have to see.
I won't say.
Okay. Yeah. Other than Yamano Susume, which is so good. Oh my god. I watched the Made in Abyss movie.
Mm-hmm.
Finally came out. Like season 1 was like I think spring or summer 2017. It's been a minute. It's part of me was like, do I need a refresher? It's been a while. What were they doing? Have you watched Made in Abyss?
I have not.
Oh boy, that's a how do I put it? It's a emotional show, and like it starts off in some like I'm sure you heard like, oh, it gets dark, blah blah blah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but like some of those episodes are like hard watches, and the movie is like a whole new story arc. It's a great setup for a movie because they have this story arc and they can just do it all in one go. But it makes it really exhausting to watch because there is just suffering happening every 10 minutes of this movie. And it's just like, by the end of it, I was like winded. I'm like, oh man, that was a lot that happened. Like, not only did they condense a whole arc down into a movie, but it's just emotions are at their peaks. Characters are getting paid off that were like introduced only a couple episodes in and are now we're seeing the conclusion of.
Hmm.
It's great. I want to see more, and I don't want to read the manga. I want to see it animated because they do such an amazing job. Like, that is a movie to watch. It can make people really uncomfortable, though, so it's
Yeah,
kind of hard to
knowing what I
recommend.
do know a little bit about it, I don't think it's something I could handle.
Yeah, there's some violence. There's some horrible like crimes in there that you don't want to speak about, and there's also a little bit of uncomfortable child stuff.
Mm,
Just as a warning, but it's hard because the writing is so good, and the setting and the story is really really creative and well done. You know when you get an anime where it's like this has a really good premise and then they didn't do anything, like Devil's a Part-Timer.
yeah.
Strong premise, and then after a couple episodes it's fucking nothing. Made in Abyss is like, it's still paying off, it's still really good. They're still going to interesting places and doing really intense things. God, what a good movie. I almost want to watch it again. It was really cool. I think that's it though for the podcast.
Yeah, I don't really have anything else to say.
Sorry if I was ranting a lot the whole time, but
Oh, it's fine.
fucking Uzaki-chan.
I guess our excuse me, our last angry bit that we are moving to the end now would be why is it Minecraft Steve?
Oh
in
yeah, that happened
Smash?
today. Fuck, I forgot. Yeah,
I
Minecraft's in
wanted
Smash.
Dante.
Yeah. No. Look, he put Mario in the dark, and he ate the meat just like the game. And Minecraft's super popular, so it has to be in
It
Smash.
literally looks fan edited,
It does. I
but
mean, how
no,
can it
it's
not?
real.
It's real. It's kind of surreal when you see it. Get more details on that later.
I haven't looked at like the video that shows how he plays, but what?
Step 1, denial. Step 2, anger. Step 3, bargaining. No, depression. Oh, whatever. Okay, good night.